Hello and welcome to the Everywhere Bear Cuddly Toy Puppetry Workshop. My name is Alex and I'm going to be teaching you some skills of puppetry, and we're going to go on an adventure just like the Everywhere Bear. If you don't know the Everywhere Bear, don't worry, there's lots of materials on the Polka website, and we'll be doing our own version of a story today anyway. Now for this story, for this workshop, you are going to need a cuddly toy. I've chosen cuddly toys like this guy over here because they're a bit softer and you can do more with them in terms of puppetry, as opposed to a Barbie or an Action Man type figure or something like this, which is a bit more stiff and you can't get as much out of it to play with. We can play with them as well, but for this one you probably want more of a soft toy type fella. So if you haven't got one, go and grab one, put me on pause, I'll wait here. Yeah, you can go now, I'll just wait. And you can unpause me now. Good. Alright, so we're going to start off, because it's puppetry, we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up. So we're going to start with the neck, because we do quite a lot of work with our shoulders and our necks. So we're going to roll our shoulders backwards, like that. Let's do a couple more of these. And forwards, like this. And then we're going to bring our shoulders up to our ears. And then drop them. And breathe out. And shoulders up to your ears. Breathe in and out. And up to your ears, and drop them and breathe out. And we're going to do a big stretch up to the ceiling, turn over one side, ooh, like that, and up to the ceiling, and turn it to the other side, like that. Great. Now, necks. Going to look one way, back to the centre, look the other way, and back to the middle. Do a couple more of these. One way, back to the middle, over there, back to the middle, over there, back to the middle, and over there, back to the middle. Now because we're doing puppetry, we're going to be using our hands quite a lot. So we're going to start by opening and closing. So you're going to reach up towards the screen, or we're going to grab a piece and pull it back. Reach out, grab a piece, pull it back. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. And as quick as you can. Faster, 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 faster. Freeze! And again, fast, 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 fast. Freeze! And we're going to do it up. Oop, it's a bit hard. And then we're going to do it out to one side, like that. And out to the other side, like that. Back in front. And now for the tricky bit, we're going to turn them upside down. Ooh, that gets a bit stiff there. So shake them out. Ah, good. And then we're going to do little circles with our hands. Inwards. A couple more. Nice and gentle. Don't want too many clicky wrists. And then back the other way. Good. Let me shake them out. Shake them forwards. Shake them up. Shake them down. Side. Side. Up, down, side, side, freeze. And then do your own rap video. We're going to go into like this. Yeah. Like that. And freeze. Put a pose. Good. I think we're warm. Great. So now we all have a puppet, and we're going to want a surface of some sort. I've got a table, could be a chair, a bed, anything really. Just something that you can rest your puppet on, so they're not floating in the air all the time. You don't have to hold them up. So what I'm going to do now is introduce you to some basic techniques and principles of puppetry. And what I suggest you do is, after you've seen each one, that you put us on pause, and then you guys go away and you play with your puppet, and if you've got someone else to play with, you play together as well. And that's the best way that we can practice and move on. Okay, so here's the first one. Right, number one, meet your puppet. So if this is your cuddly toy, chances are you already know each other. This is Kingsley. I'm using Kingsley today because he's nice and big and you can see what he's up to quite easily on the camera. So what the things I'm looking for here is I want to know which parts of my puppet move, which are wobbly and move of their own accord, which things don't really move, what's quite stiff, what are they able to do, what are they not able to do. So Kingsley over here, he's not very good at standing up. When he stands up, like, he's a bit like that. So I know that most of the time I'm going to have Kingsley probably sitting on his bum and doing a lot of bum shuffling around, things like that. Great. Next thing I want to look at is how can I hold my puppet the best. There'll probably be a few different grips here. I like to use back of the neck quite often because I can move the whole body. Don't forget you've got two hands as well that you can play with. Kingsley's able to sit up quite nicely and I can move his arms at the same time. But with a puppet, most of the time you want one hand that can control the head. So you really want their head to be able to look around. And the way that I can do that with Kingsley is by gripping him on the back of the head. Looks a bit like this. He doesn't mind, even if it looks a bit cruel. And that means that he can move his head this way, he can move his head that way, he can look up, he can look down, or forward. And all of a sudden you'll notice that Kingsley starts to kind of come alive now that I can control his head a little bit there. And with my other hand I'm able to hold something else if I want to wave his arm or waggle an ear or kick a leg, or just keep him still while I look around in different directions. Great, so the next thing, now that you've had a play with your puppet, that's super important is breath. Now breath is really, really important. All living animals breathe, and puppets are no exception. And the way that we get our puppets to breathe is simply by breathing ourselves. So first of all, we'll start off with sitting nice and relaxed and take a deep breath. Okay, good. The next thing we're going to do is hold onto our puppet. So I'm going to hold Kingsley up here, this nice head grip, and you'll notice my arm's about sort of arm's length out, so I'm not really close to him over here, he's not miles away from me, and he's also sitting as well. But watch what happens when I take a deep breath. You'll notice that Kingsley, he breathes as well. Now that's not because I'm lifting him up and down, I'm just literally holding onto him and breathing in. So as we breathe, our puppet will breathe at the same time, and this starts to bring them to life and put a bit of life into them. And there are different types of breathing for puppets as well. Sometimes he's quite chilled and quite relaxed like now, so his breathing is normal, but sometimes Kingsley might get a bit stressed about something and his breath might move a bit more quickly. He might be scared by something and it's going to change the quality of his breath. So what you're going to do now, after you've had a few deep breaths together with your puppet, is just play around with what that kind of breath might be like. So have some fun playing with that one now. Great, so now that you're connected to your puppet by your breath, the next thing we're going to look at is a really important principle called focus. And all that means is how much attention you're able to give to your puppet. So you'll find that as I'm talking to you right now down the camera, that you kind of want to look at me because I'm talking to you. But if we want our audience to focus on our puppet, we need to look at our puppet all of the time. And that means that even if I want the puppet to go over there and look out of that window, I'm not going to look up, and then the puppet do it, because you might end up looking at me, which is not what we want. Instead, if I want to look over there, I'm going to look through the puppet's eyes. Oh. Ah. And then the puppet might decide that he or she wants to walk and move over there. So whatever the puppet wants to do, it's the puppet that is going to look. Oh. Oh. Over there, instead of me. So take a moment and just play around with this one for a moment. And if you've got someone to play with, this is really helpful. Get them to tell you, is it more interesting when you're looking at the puppet, or is it when you're looking at them directly? And who do they want to look at? Chances are they're going to want to look at you, because humans are really interesting, and that's just something we've got to work with here. So try making sure that you're focusing on your puppet. Now I'm going to give you another tip. Pause us here and come back to us. Lovely stuff. So we've been playing with puppet's focus, making sure that we're looking at the puppet and then always looking everywhere through the puppet's eyes. Now, a point on the puppet's eyes here. You may not have a puppet with eyes. I've got a guy who's got lovely big black eyes here, and you can look at what he's looking at. But your puppet might not have eyes, but what they will have is a front of their nose or face or something over here that you can focus on. So we're going to get used to to make sure that we know where they're looking at by looking at our puppet. So something like this. Take a moment to do this. I'm going to look at Kingsley right now, and Kingsley's looking me square back in the face. I'm just going to turn Kingsley so that he looks over my shoulder, and he's going to come back across me and look over my other shoulder, and then he's going to look me dead square in the eyes again. And now I know exactly where he's looking. And for you, when you're looking at him, it will look something like this. Now he's looking right at you. He's going to look over your shoulder, then back to you again, then over your shoulder, and then back to you. Oh, like that. So have a little play at exactly where your puppet's eyes are looking by doing that with them, and come back to us. Great. So hopefully you've had a bit of fun playing around the room and exploring the different things around you. What I want to look at now is when we put it all together, we're going to add some sound as well and look at movement. So here's Kingsley again, and we're just going to start off getting a good hold of him, getting a nice grip, getting that breath back. And Kingsley's going to start to look around just like you were doing just now. But as he does so, we're going to make some noises, some breath that goes with it, because life for a puppet is actually quite hard. And getting him up and to do things is quite tricky, so it involves quite a lot of effort. Imagine you were Kingsley's size and you wanted to have a look over the edge of the table. Oh, okay. And if you wanted to get really close to the edge, and have a look, and it's quite tricky to get back up now, so you've got to push off the floor. It's quite tiring. So just have a little explore at moving around now with your puppet and the kind of noises that they might make. And if they can stand up, how do they get up? And if they go for a walk, how do they go for a walk? Kingsley's got a bit of a gammy leg here, which I can't really hold, so I'm just going to he sort of swings himself round and he manages okay. Now for Kingsley, he wants to go somewhere. He doesn't want to sit here all day. And in the Everywhere Bear, of course, the Everywhere Bear is a teddy bear that sits in a children's classroom, but one day it gets lost by a little boy. We're not going to lose Kingsley. Kingsley, actually, we're going to make a reason for our puppet to want to leave. They're going to go on an adventure. That's what we want to do. So for Kingsley, I think he's blah 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 blah. I'm hungry. Yeah, Kingsley, I think he's quite hungry actually. He hasn't eaten in a while. And he's looking for somewhere he can eat and find some food. Have you got any food? No? Okay. Maybe in another room. So Kingsley, he's going to get up and have a sniff around and look where he might be able to find something he can eat. And oh dear. Oh no. Ooh, bit of a bump there. Now, for your character, you're going to want to think of a reason why they want to leave. What is it that they haven't got? Is there somewhere they need to go? Something they've just remembered? It's just something they really want to give them an excuse to go on an adventure. And we are now going to go and travel off to another room as Kingsley is in search of some food. So he's going to look, first of all, in the next room, which is this room, the bedroom. Here we are, in the bedroom, where some people are sleeping. Kingsley's decided to look for food here. Not sure why, but that's what he's decided, so that's where we're going now. Remember, things are quite difficult for puppets to do, especially if they're a lot bigger than them, like climbing up onto beds. Takes quite a lot of effort. And they might fail once or twice. Have fun with that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now this is where your friend or grown-up can come in handy, because they can play some of the other characters you meet. Of course, not all of them are going to be helpful and friendly even in your quest, So let's see what happens in our version and see what you get up to in yours. Here we can see the donkey is sleeping.
Huh? Oh, hey, oh, who are you? What are you doing in my bed? Sorry, I was looking for some food. Have you got any food? Food? Of course I didn't have any food. I'm in bed. Who keeps food in their bed? Now get out of my bed. I'm trying to get back to my beauty sleep. Get on away with you. Honestly. Oh, sorry.
Next, Kingsley tries the kitchen.
Excuse me, I'm hungry. Have you got any food? You hear that, Gary? The bear wants some food.
Food? Not likely, mate. What do we look like? A restaurant? Honestly. Well, they're not being very helpful or friendly. Hopefully, Kingsley can find someone to give him some food. Ah, who's that? Hey, Kingsley, over here. Oh, ignore them. Never mind. Look, do you fancy an apple? Ha. Here you are, pal.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I can go home now.
Ah, good. So Kingsley finally got something to eat and he made a new friend while he was at it. Where will your puppet go on their adventure around the house? Who will they meet and how will they get along? Over to you. Have fun playing and enjoy. Bye.